Okay, hey everybody, and welcome to Tips and Tricks for Throne of Lies. I'm Magnusaur 2. Today we're going to be talking about the Fool Roll. Now, the Fool Roll is technically a neutral faction, but there's one small thing about the Fool you need to know. Is that its passive is players feel guilty, they execute the Fool. If you are executed, then there can be no executions the following 2 days. Now, unlike the Town of Salem roll Jester that you may know about, this roll benefits the evil faction, the Unseen, far more than it benefits the Blue Dragon. So this automatically makes it a sort of quasi-neutral roll, whereas it's not really neutral, it's just counted as one, but the Unseen will generally try and push the Fool into the forefront as much as possible, because they can kill and convert, whereas the Blue Dragon only have the options of killing with the Knight and the Prince, both of which have horrendous drawbacks if they're wrong. Whereas the Unseen don't have any drawbacks. So your Fool roll will generally be the victim of bandwagons far easier than other rolls like Epic Mafia's Fool or Town of Salem's Jester. Anyway, it says it requires the most trickiness out of any class, as you can't be bold to blame someone for treason, or else everyone will know you're the Fool. Well, you can't be too subtle either. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with people understanding this type of roll's generic actions, like fake whispers, claiming to be one role that's just being claimed. So we're going to try and ignore all of the sort of like the evolution of the community in understanding how this works. I will be talking about that in a little bit while, but first let's just take a look at its abilities and how you can utilize them. Again, poor fellow, that happens when you die. That's a sort of like bonus for everyone else after you've won. Now the Troll Box. The Troll Box is pretty much one of the best abilities in the game. Choose a target and whisper a short phrase into the Troll Box. It will appear as if that player says it. That doesn't mean you have to whisper them, it just means you have to put what you want them to say into it. Like, you can basically make somebody else claim sheriff and then counter-claim their sheriff claim that you've made them say. Of course, they'll try and say that they've been fooled, but then you can also claim that you've been fooled. Therefore, they don't know who the Fool is. That is a tactic that I wouldn't advise if the Prince is alive, because the Prince could execute you, or could execute the other. But if you can pull it off quickly, without them noticing you've put it in, then yeah, that's cool, because the one thing the Troll Box gives is that it doesn't tell them that they've sent that message. Now, Throne of Lies, something odd about it is that lynches happen a lot faster than in normal games, because the Unseen are ruthless, and generally if you see a fast lynch you can guarantee the entire Unseen will jump on it, because they want everyone to die who they can't convert. So if you can happen to lynch a prince, that's going to work out good for them. So generally if you can quickly enough pull off a bamboozle like that, you may do it, but if the town is smarter, player base, I don't exactly know, Blue Dragon, or Castle people, I don't know exactly what we're calling everyone collectively in Throne of Lies yet. If somebody knows that, please tell me. I'm still calling them towns. Anyway, other Troll Box techniques would be to, if somebody claims they're poisoned, then you can make somebody else claim that they're poisoned as well, drawing suspicion on both of them. At which point one of them, again, could claim they've been fooled. Using the Troll Box will generally consider making the person claim they've been fooled, unless they don't realise what they've said. So, covert words and phrases generally work a lot better than things like, lol, I'm sheriff, or lol, this guy's bad. Another thing you can use the Troll Box for is to make other players counterclaim, because the more that you annoy other players, the more people will get lynch happy. Generally, what should happen is that you make somebody else look like they're the ones trying to get hung, whereas in fact you, and then you say something that's completely out of the blue and what the fuck, and then you may get lynched instead. Like, if you force a vote on a say Prince or something, and then they're like, I'm Prince and can't claim, and you just say, and you just keep voting guilty while everyone pardons, generally the way things go is that you will get voted up next. Then you just have to make sure they understand you're not the fool. Like, you have to make sort of like unseen implications, but not outrightly say you're unseen, because if you do something too over the top, they'll know you're the fool. However, there is always the idea of going far, far too over the top that they can't even consider you'd be the fool because you're trying to play the fool too much that they think, now you can't be the fool. It's a work in progress for this. Anyway, let's move on to Surprise Mojo. Replacing the player's abilities with fireworks, occupying them. You're going to want to do this on anyone who could investigate you, like a sheriff or a princess. Anyone who can pretty much out you. If you can see who they are, like through implications or them soft claiming, then yeah. Just to explain for a moment, soft claiming is the action of you saying something that would imply you're a certain role, like automatically saying, oh, this guy's not bad, or automatically being on somebody's side. That's what soft claiming. Not outwardly saying that you're a role, but making sure that people know what your abilities have told you in a way that doesn't implicate yourself. But, right, so generally you'll get all of the typical jester tactics from a fool, like fake whispers and all that. I wouldn't advise trying a fake whisper, which is the action of putting a dash and then putting a space after the W, so it looks like you tried to whispers but you typoed it. I would in fact consider saying stuff like convert me or please convert me, I want to join the unseen, because there are Blue Dragon players who try and jump ship because they've given up on the Blue Dragon, and if you act like one of those, maybe they'll execute you in the daytime. Again, you may have to wait till Prince is dead. Prince is going to be your biggest problem, because if you're in jail as a fool, the Prince will be like, die if you claim fool. So you're going to have to claim a Blue Dragon role. There is absolutely no ifs, ands, and buts about it. If you claim a neutral role, you're dead. Or, if you know who the Prince is, and if you're enough smarmy to get away with it, claim mercenary on him. If you claim that you're a merc protecting him, he probably won't kill you. Although it's probably going to have to be in the early days of you doing that, because if you don't protect him the whole while and he's like, well, why didn't you protect me? He's going to execute you anyway. Again, you can try and work with the unseen to get yourself hung. If you feel that the king might be evil, just whisper him and say, lol, lynch me, it will help unseen or something. And if the king's a good king, and he might out you and say prince execute him. But if there's no prince, go right ahead. Next, let's see, going back to the troll box, there are some pretty obvious things that will give you away if you're a fool. One of them is troll boxing someone with something ridiculous, like, lol 420 faggots, I am the fool, lol, I am speaking through your friend. That is going to alert the entire place that there's a fool around. Alerting everyone that there's a fool is a bad idea, which is one thing that I would say why it's not a good idea to use fireworks so often, because I'm not sure if they changed this, so just ignore this if they've changed it, but the fireworks tell people specifically they're being fireworked, so then they'll out to the entire town there's a fool, and then they'll be careful lynching. So you need to be careful with your troll box. If you're not careful with your troll box, you won't be able to get hung as easily. You're going to need to do it on someone who's not going to notice that they've talked. But if you should do it to an unseen, the unseen will likely try to help you. I'm not sure though, because a lot of unseen generally take the idea that lynching the fool's bad, even though it benefits them. If you're unseen, please execute the fool. 2 days of converting and killing, because you can't lynch in that period. Or execute. It's good, right? Next, while you're on the stand and you're being executed, don't say things like blah blah. This is lol. This is horrible. What the fuck? Please claim something, because if you don't claim something, they're going to instantly get a bit of a well, oh god, he could be the fool. I'm not going to vote him. And then you're kind of up shit creek, because once you're outed as the fool, you'll never get voted again. Unless you can somehow bargain a deal with the unseen to get yourself voted. If there's an evil king, you're on easy street, because you can bargain with an evil king easily. But you don't ever know if they're evil, so that's always a bit of a gamble. I like my usual trick of whispering the entire town, of saying I'm a mercenary on you, and then all of them just going, wait a second, he can't be merc on all of us. That's my favourite strategy. No doubt after this video goes out, other people may start using it, which means it'll become meta, which means it won't work. But it is definitely my favourite, just whispering everyone day one, I'm merc on you, I'm merc on you, I'm merc on you. Because once you've said you're merc on someone, you won't get killed by them. If you happen to get an unseen player, then they'll be like, oh, he's merc on me, don't kill him. This is a strategy I really like to protect yourself. If you just say it to one person and fake it, maybe they'll believe you. If they notice there isn't a merc outside the door, they may question you. Just say you're being roadblocked. If you say you're being roadblocked by Butler, boom. Instant excuse right there. But while you've done that, then people might feel more into lynching you because you're a neutral role. If you claim merc. Fake claiming merc is my favourite way to win as fool. Again, Prince is a problem, but yeah. I don't think there's any way to effectively fake being a Possessor or a Reaper. So, one thing you can do is you can fake being a Butler, and then roadblock someone. And then just be like, lol, I am Buttles. I guess, also one of the good parts of claiming a Butler is threatening the king and saying, I'm going to execute you if you don't do what I say. At which point the king could lead a bandwagon on you. Because kings hate being poisoned by them. Fools acting as butlers that are about to poison the king may work at a very high rate. I've tried it once, it worked. I don't know how other times, but it seems like a good trick to me. More things you don't want to do. You don't want to basically try and partner up with Blue Dragon people, because they just won't work for you. You could try and fake being one of those roles that don't have more than one of them. Like the sheriff. If you claim being a sheriff, you'll get counterclaimed immediately. You'll need to have a fake will ready with a sheriff log. But if you fake being a sheriff, you'll get counterclaimed if there's another sheriff. Also, sheriffs generally don't do much, so you can get away with that quite easily. You don't want to claim something like priest, because if there's another priest, then they'll out you, saying, hey, you didn't hear what the dead is. Claiming psychic is bad, because psychic can instantly prove who he is through his psychic shout. No, don't claim psychic. Claiming prince is a death sentence. Don't do it. Prince will execute you. Princess, possible, but not preferable, because there's a lot of things that princess can do that can prove who she is by proving what role people are. What other roles? Physician. It's quite good to claim physician. If you claim they're a physician and the unseen poison someone, and then they die, and they're like, what the fuck, physician, why didn't you heal them? Then just stay quiet, and they'll be like, okay, maybe he's not a physician, kill him. Might be a good idea. Observer role claim. Oh, this will be fun. You pretty much are instantly guilty of being unseen the moment that you claim observer in any game, because observer is the most common claim for unseen members right now. It's meta. Claim observer, get executed, die, and win. Probably one of the better ones. I can't really think of any other classes off the top of my head other than Paladin, but that's Cult, and Cult's been removed for now. I will just take a quick look at these classes to see if there's anything else I can talk about. The Sage? Oh yeah, those are unseen. Those don't matter. All unseen will want you dead. Let's just take a look at classes. I'm still calling them roles, so bleh. The noble! Yeah, the noble. Okay, this guy has a friend. Yeah, the twin nobles, and if you pretty much get one of them to suspect you, they'll both work together against you, so it might be good to whisper them a few things. Maybe be a tiny bit abusive, but don't mean it. Just in-game abusive. There's a difference between being flat-out abusive to the person and abusive to the role. So just be careful with that. But there's a fine line between being horrible and being strategic. Court Wizard. What do you do? I very rarely get this. Spark number to below a player if they use today, but backfires causing them attack themselves. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this at all. It's not really good or bad either way. Right, I think I've gone through most of the classes now. So, just to finish, playing the Fool is a game of walking the line between trustworthy and untrustworthy. If you become totally untrustworthy, they won't get you because they know you're a fool. If you're completely trustworthy, they won't lynch you because they believe you. You need to give slight hints as to why you're bad, without actually saying outwardly, I'm bad. Alright, I'm just going to go back to the Fool page just so you can look at it if you need to. Classes. Fool. Right, so, other neutral factions won't necessarily assist you as their objectives withdrawn. Additionally, you can't start the game with a mercenary contract to protect you, but they can pick you as their new contract. Right, this is something I need to discuss. It's very minor, but if a mercenary tries to give you a contract, deny it. Deny the fuck out of it. Because if you get contract by a merc, you are pretty much going to get... that mercenary will try and carry you through the game when you want to die. Deny all contracts from mercenaries. And then just basically tell them, no, you stink or something, and maybe you'll be alright. Right, so that's the end of this tips and tricks video. If you've got, as always, if you've got any ideas or additions, please mention them in the comments. I'd get a nice discussion going about the role, talk up a storm about it, and I'll see you again with the next one, hopefully. Okay, bye-bye, guys.